Back, we're going to look at AWS Relational Databases service. So we're going to get to MySQL databases and how we can interact with them. We'll talk about multi-AZ, so having some failover options into other availability zones. In case of disaster, we'll look at snapshots, and we'll look at something called read replicas, and we'll connect to the database from our EC2 instance as if it's a real web server that needs this content rather than static content in S3. All right, so we'll start off again. How do you get here? You just type RDS. And I already created a database and a read replica to save us some time, but we will go through the process. So here's my master database right now, something called a read replica below it, which we'll look at later. But anyway, here's DB1, that's our master, and it's sitting in CA Central 1A, so in availability zone 1A. There's also availability zone 1B. If I wanted to actually create one of these, go to create database and stay standard. This is what I did last time. I chose MySQL, give it a name here, give it a password. Of course, I'm not going to go through with this. I just want you guys to see. But if you were going to do this, choose something a little cheaper. You don't need for testing. We just stay with the micros. And this, yes, we want to play around with what's called multi-AZ deployment. So we'll say yes here. It's going to create a standby in a different availability zone. So since I have the master in AZ1, it'll make a standby in AZ2 for redundancy. And what we'll do is we'll fail over to it. And in the meantime, we won't have access to it, but it will be replicating. So the master will have a copy in this standby instance. All right, there you go. So we're not going to actually go through with this. And remember, if you do go through with this, once you're done testing it, make sure to delete it because databases can get expensive. So this creates my database. Let's take a look. All right, so here, important piece right here. This is our endpoint. So even if we fail over, we'll keep the endpoint, but the IP address underneath will change, especially obviously since we're switching to a different availability zone, which is in a different subnet. Security group. Down here you can see some replication going on. We'll talk about that in a bit. Maintenance and backups. Let's take a look here. So you can see that there's two automated backups that were done. So created two snapshots, and I manually created one. Interesting thing to note here is that if we delete our database, these will go away, but this one, test A, will stay unless I manually delete. So if you manually create a snapshot, it will stay even after the deletion of the database. So you'd have to go in and delete that manually if you wanted to take it out. And so that's for our snapshots. We can have snapshots at all times, anytime we want. Really, here I've got a specific time that I'm going to do backups. Actually, if we jump over to, we can look at snapshots again. And so this is my primary, my master, and it does have some automated backups happening. All right, so let's actually try and connect to this database. So jumping into my EC2 instance, we'll pretend it's well, it is actually a web server. It's not really doing anything, but it's just for testing. But this web server, let's say it needed to connect to that database. So one thing we can do is scan it with Nmap just to see if the port is open. Perfect. Port is open. That's great. And now we'll just connect to it. So my MySQL command, the username is admin -h for our host. We'll throw this in right here, and then -p for password should prompt me. And then boom, I'm in. oops, not select, use MySQL. So we're going to use that database, and we can take a look at all the tables. What do I do? Time zone, I don't think it's very exciting, but there you go. So database is working. So that's great. And actually, the other thing to do would be to ping it. Well, we could use dig, whatever, and just get the IP address. So it's not going to respond to pings. I believe, I don't think you can actually ping your RDS instances. But even if I have a firewall rule allowing it, but it does resolve, gives me an IP address. So just remember the subnet and the IP address here, 136, because that will change when we do our failover. Well, hopefully it'll change and we'll still be able to connect on the same endpoint. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, before we do that, let's quickly talk about read replicas. So right here you can see this thing, the role is called Replica. And what that is if you wanted to share the load of reads. So if you had hundreds or thousands of people connected to your website and you feel like there's a bit of a slowdown because of the traffic, well, you could create another database, but in this case it's called a read replica, and all it is for reading. You don't write to it, you write only to the master, and the master would replicate to the read replicas to share the load, and you could have a load balancer in between as well, of course. So how would we do that? Well, we'd go here and we'd create, whoops, I should be on this one. Click create read replica, which generates this guy. If I click on this one, so it's endpoint. Notice the only difference is it says DB2. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Ignore that for a moment. All right, so I'll copy this. And let's see if I can connect to this one too. And there you go, I'm in, all the same stuff. And that's my read replica, very cool. All right, finally, let's do a failover. So here we go, this is our master. Since we have multi-AZ enabled, when we do the failover, or if there was a catastrophic failure in an availability zone, it should fail over to the other availability zone, and that database, it's a standby, should have a copy. So we'll go and push reboot with failover, yes. Okay, so in a moment, this status, there you go, status goes to rebooting. And what will happen, so this endpoint should stay the same. And if we ping it, it's still the same right now. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I know what I should have done. Let's do this. MySQL-Q-P. And I'm in. Interesting. So let's do that ping again. And you can see that the IP address has changed, and that's why. So what's happened is the failover has been successful, different subnet, same database, or a copy of the database. And I'll go back here. I'll just refresh. Interestingly enough, it still says rebooting, but it was successful. We can see that we've switched into the standby, which is going to become the master, and then this status will go to available very soon, and this region should change to CA Central 1B. That might take, I don't know, that part might, oh, there we go. Didn't take too long at all. And there you go. So my standby has become the master. I still have my read replica. In the meantime, I could have a whole bunch of read replicas. I could even put them in different regions. Anyway, there you go. Some cool stuff with RDS. Have a great day.